Hi there, Jamie here from the Center for Aligned Living. Thank you for tuning in. Today I would like to talk just very briefly about responsibility and reactivity. If you look at the word responsibility, it's your ability to respond. And I know I talk all the time about choices, but you truly do have a choice every time you make a response to anything. No matter what's coming at you, you have a choice. You can respond positively or you can respond negatively. And it's super, super, super easy to be reactive. And so what I want to talk to you today about for just a minute is how to be less reactive, move from emotional reactions into conscious responses. So again, we're talking about responsibility and reactivity. And it's not always easy because sometimes you'll just, get a flash of an emotion that's negative, right? And you want to act on it, kind of like strike back. But, there's so much of that going on. And then we want to blame somebody else. Well, they cut me off or they said something they shouldn't have said. Well, be that as it may, you're still responsible 100% for how you choose to respond. Responsibility. I think that, and I'm sorry, if this is all just stuff that you were just totally born knowing, good for you. You can move on to something else. But I think that in this fast-paced world and what we're doing to our children in particular, we're just rush, 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 don't feel, just next, next, next. And I don't think that that is healthy. I think that we all need to step back. I think that is why the world is in so much turmoil, is because we're not really thinking. We're thinking, but I think we're thinking about the wrong things. It's like, how can I move forward? How can I do this? When really we've lost the fundamentals about how to be a decent human being, or how to get along, or how to treat our planet, and how to treat ourselves, and how to treat other people. So that's what we're trying to do here at the Center for Aligned Living, is to unlock and empower you and me, everybody, humans, empower you to unlock your full potential through conscious living. Okay? That's all we're trying to do here. And conscious living just means paying attention. We're going to pay attention to the things that we do and the things that we think. So getting back to our responsibility. We have a responsibility on this planet to, in my opinion, do no harm. And that is very broad. I know that. And that's do no harm to yourself, do no harm to others, and do no harm to the planet. And we all fall short in these categories. And we're just really seriously spiraling into just losing control of ourselves even. And that's just not going to be okay. I'm getting on a kind of going on a soapbox tangent here, aren't I? But we all have responsibility for our actions, for our responses. So, how do we do this? Well, it's pretty simple. I think the very first thing when you get out of bed in the morning, before you even get out of bed, as soon as you're awake out of that dream state or sleep state, just take a deep breath. Breathing is what's the one thing, the fastest thing that you will die if you don't have? Air, oxygen, number one. We need to focus on our breath work. So just take a deeper cleansing breath and be like, thank you, I am here, I am awake, I can have a great day. Because it is a choice. You may have a challenging day, but you can have a great day. So, first thing when you get out of bed, you set your intention. You take a deep breath. You're like, oh, I'm going to be okay today. And you practice gratitude. I think gratitude is just so helpful. I thought I heard a noise over there. I'm a little paranoid. There were some snakes in the garden. And now everywhere I look, I think I see snakes. Anyway, or I hear them. I think I'll pick my feet up. I digress. All right, so when you get out of bed, practice gratitude. It's going to make a world of difference in your days, okay? Now, a step further. then what are you going to do? How do you move from emotional reactions and reactivity, right? What does that make you think of? Reactive. Kind of loose cannon, science project. You don't know what's going to happen. Well, you don't know what's going to happen, right? But if you just calm down, pull yourself together, gather your spirit into the present moment, you can shift from having an emotional reaction into conscious responses. Okay? So you gather yourself together, and remember, when you have an emotion, all it is information. So you just observe it. You're like, oh, hey, good, bad. Okay, temporary. Everything's temporary. Sometimes you have to ride it out. Sometimes you need to have difficult conversations. Sometimes you need to step back. Sometimes, you just bring yourself into the present moment and then just observe what's going on. Don't take things personally. If this person over here is flipping you off, who knows what they're going through? You don't. That person may not even know fully what they're going through and what they're experiencing in order to flip somebody off for some stupid reason like driving. You don't know. Anyway, it's information. All you have to do is observe it, and then you get a choice. It is your responsibility to react consciously. Okay? That's all we have to do. Just take it down a notch. Observe things. Don't take things personally. And just use these emotions as information. It's telling you what you want and what you don't want. It's that simple. I never knew this stuff, and I'm sorry that I'm 52 years old. Is that right? Yeah, today I am. So, 52 years old, and I didn't know these things, and that's okay, because I'm learning now, and I can be a better person now, because now is all that matters. I can't do diddly-do about, yesterday, even before I started this video. Nothing I can do about that. All I can do is from right now, and this is my springboard into the future, and you as well. So, present moment living, pulling yourself into the current, into this exact moment is huge. Practicing gratitude is huge. Taking emotions and just saying, all this is telling me what I want and what I don't want, okay? And if you got a whole lot of don't want, you better start thinking about what you do want. And then work towards that. Focus on that. Put your energy towards that. Because if this is, and I think it is, a magnetic world, you get what you give, you get what you think about, what you think about, you bring about. So don't keep harping on. When you're talking to your friends, when you're talking to your family, whoever, stop bitching, Just stop bitching about what you don't want. Start being positive. Start talking about what you do want, Maybe you're having a difficult time in a relationship or at work or at school, and you think, oh, well, it's very good to observe what you don't want, but just take note of it and be like, well, I don't want to be disrespected. So turn that around, Just start focusing on, I would like to have a job where I'm treated with respect. Well, then maybe start taking away at what you can do differently, perhaps, to earn respect or be treated with respect. Now, that doesn't mean that you can turn a toxic situation into, rainbows and lollipops, but you can change the way you look at things, and that in itself is like a miracle, right? You can change the way you're looking at it. You can see things differently. You can, in doing that, I love this, you become part of the solution rather than part of the problem. And right now, as I've said before, we're all just kind of pointing fingers and blaming others, and, we're not taking responsibility for our lives and for what we're putting out there, both in our actions and in our vibration and our thoughts. We stand around and we eat crap at parties or whatever, and we poison ourselves. That lowers our vibration, and then we're not feeling great. And I know I'm talking about some energy work here, and maybe that's not dialogue or words, verbiage you're used to, but you're living it, so you might, whatever you want to call it, you're experiencing that. So get on board, pay attention. Pay attention to how you feel. When you're talking to certain people, when you're eating certain foods or doing certain activities, which ones make you feel good? Which ones make you feel bad? Do more of the good. I started a thing in June. It's like, I really love adding things to the list that are joyful, as opposed to, oh, I'm going to quit doing this, and I'm going to quit doing that, and I'm going to quit. Because the more joy begets joy, right? And, I mean, you could go about it through the other way, which is totally fine if that's what is right for you. Remember, there's no one right way. The right way is different for everybody, okay? So just find what works for you. Draw that out of yourself and then do that. But for me, I'd rather have some more joy. So in June, I'm doing one thing a day that brings me joy. And, maybe I'll try something new. And I'm like, oh, I want to try this. And then I might go, oh, yes, or oh, no. And then I move forward, but I have information more about myself and what I enjoy and what I want and what I don't want. And I think that we could all agree that we want a healthy planet, we want a healthy life, we want healthy bodies, we want healthy mind, spirit, the whole 9 yards, right? Healthy relationships. Well, some of this stuff takes work. Some more work than others, absolutely. But I can assure you that if you want it, you should go for it, okay? If it's positive, if it's healthy, not hurting anybody, you should go for that. If the relationship is challenging, sometimes the best growth comes from those relationships. And so it's challenging, but it's so worth it, You can sit back and go, holy Toledo, look at what we have been through together. And instead of just walking away, we committed, to the friendship or whatever relationship it is, friends, siblings, parents, partners, fill in the blank, doesn't matter. Dealing with humans can be difficult. Think about how hard it is to deal with your own self, right? So then you throw more people with more experiences, blah, blah, you get it. So, but it's worth it. It can be worth it. As long as you don't go into it thinking, what can I do to change that other person, okay? Because it's just not going to work, okay? The only way that you can change another person, in my opinion, is through inspiring the other person to change. And it's not by telling them to change. And I said that was like them, not him. But anyway, it's just, or anybody, if you're just like, yeah, we know that. You're responsible for yourself. You can only change yourself. The only way you can influence, though. You can influence and you can inspire people to be better. But you're absolutely not going to get that by being negative, okay? It would be rare. Anyhow, I'm off track a little bit. So yes, let's pay attention. That's our homework. We're going to pay attention to what we're doing. We're going to try to live in the present moment as much as humanly possible, or situationally possible. And just take the emotions as they come as information and determine good, bad, want, don't want. And then observe and then have your response. Less reactivity, more response. Conscious living, conscious responses. Sorry about that. And I think that would make a huge step if we all started, even some of us started working on that. It can have a trickle effect. Do better, be better, right? So it's worth a shot. So join me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you got something out of this video. And I hope to see you back again soon. And just take care of yourself, okay? All right, that's your homework. Take care of yourself. All right, bye-bye.